Oh, we are live.
We are live.
I'm trying to fuss with the lighting as we're trying to go live. Oh, an error occurred. Then try again. Oh, never mind. We aren't live.
Okay. We are.
I think we are live. Are we live? Peter, can you confirm? Are we live on your computer?
I see a thing that says live. It says live 29:30. It says.
Believe it. Should we believe it?
Choose to believe it.
I choose to believe it. Okay, I'm choosing to believe.
Well, we are live here on StreamYard, but
yeah,
I don't.
You don't see us on the Facebooks?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Warming House Facebook and not seeing it.
It says 5 people are watching, so I don't know. So I feel like maybe it's all happening. I don't know.
I'll believe it.
Let's just have, I don't know, belief in the world. This brave new world that we're in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So brave.
So brave. Okay, so for the folks that are tuned, we exist. Oh, somebody has confirmed. They see us. Angela, Andrea, Nikki, yay, awesome. We are
Beautiful.
Here. It's happening. Okay, so you have tuned in. Just a couple announcements before we get started. You have tuned into the Warming House channel on either Facebook or YouTube. We are here every day at 4 o'clock in May. 4 o'clock because it's kind of happy hour. And
happy hour somewhere.
It's happy hour somewhere. But also 4 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yeah, where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, get those West Coasters, and it's like really early happy hour.
I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, I think so too. But also it's our 4th birthday. It's the Warming House's 4th birthday. In case you're out there and you don't know what the Warming House is, we are a small nonprofit music venue in South Minneapolis. We are in the basement of a bike shop. That guy's bike shop. Farmstead Bike Shop, right there. The bike shop is hopping. Everybody's riding bikes.
Everybody wants their escape pod these days.
Yeah. And but the Warming House sadly had to close its doors back in March. We're actually not even letting people into the bike shop right now. We're just doing curbside. And we're just figuring out how to do all this. So we're live online every day at 4 to celebrate our birthday and bring the music to you because that's our mission. Today we're here with Peter Mulvey, and today we're here with Greg Nice too. Greg usually is working his ass off at the bike shop, but we pulled him over because we're both friends with Peter and we've both ridden bikes so many miles together.
So many miles.
So many miles. So we have a little, we're going to start off with a little bit of an interview as people roll in. Thanks for hopping in on the comments. Folks are great already. This is lovely. We can't see who's actually logged on unless they hop on the comments. So please let us know where you're coming from. Friends in the neighborhood. Yo, Heidi.
Andrea in Seattle is drinking at 2 for lunch. She said that's fine with her. So.
Okay, yeah.
Here's Andrea.
So, okay, Peter.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. This thing is sort of wonderful and awful and wonderful and awful. Like, I've never made 180 meals in 60 days in a house. And, that's like a 19th century thing. And we don't do that in our century, but now I do, like just get up, make breakfast, clean all of those dishes, make lunch, clean all of those dishes, make dinner, clean all of those dishes. It's incredibly beautiful. It's incredibly time consuming. Yeah. And meanwhile, civilization is crashing around us. So I'm all right. How are you?
Not the same. We don't wash as many dishes as you do. We just let them pile up for a little while and then have a marathon day. But we're cooking a lot.
We're running a business too.
Yeah, we are running a business too at the same time.
Right. Mike is doing a lot of the cooking around here right now, which is phenomenal.
Oh, beautiful.
It's
beautiful.
Awesome.
Hey, Peter, any major life changes? Anything going on for you recently that You want to tell anybody? About it?
So there's that thing. I'm no longer living in sin. I'm happily married man. It was great to see you guys there, and yeah, I mean that's beautiful. And I also feel like, again, like you wanna, oh my God, like here's an idea. Why don't you throw yourself together with your new partner, and only your new partner? It's just that the two of us and a cat in a house.
Yeah.
You know that Esther Perel book, Mating in Captivity? I feel like she should reissue it, like Mating in Captivity, parenthesis, no, seriously.
Right, exactly.
That's trial by fire.
And so many people are saying congratulations in the comments, which is lovely. He had a Zoom wedding, and it was
amazing.
So amazing. I'm still thinking about it.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
really well.
It was good. What else?
Well, I feel like that's like a festive little segue into part of this whole 4:00 situation is happy hour, right?
Yes.
So we had the idea of getting some bartenders up on screen as well. However, it's hard to wrangle, 31 musicians, let alone bartenders as well. So we are just kind of taking it on ourselves once in a while. And Greg here happens to be the best Manhattan maker, which people can attest to, right?
Yeah, you're killing me. I can't wait to watch this happen, and it's going to be painful because I know that I can't reach through the screen and drink it.
Oh, someday again.
As soon as possible, we'll hand you one.
Oh, good news.
So for those at home, you may want to get run and grab some ingredients, one. But also Peter's way out in Massachusetts and we're in Minneapolis. So this is like the weirdest sharing of drink we've done. But we're gonna have Greg the bartender fix up the drink, and then we'll ask a few more questions, and then we'll of course have Peter play some music, right? I mean, you have a guitar.
I'm in.
Okay, sweet.
He knows some songs.
So Greg, what you got? What should people be grabbing from their shelves here?
Well, I'm making a proper Manhattan. It's going to be I'm using a rye bourbon, red vermouth, sweet vermouth, Angostura bitters, and maraschino cherries, and of course some ice.
Did you notice he said bourbon and not brandy, right?
Oh,
because
yeah.
There's some okay, Peter, you're from Wisconsin, so did you grow up drinking brandy? Brandy Manhattans or bourbon?
Well, I didn't really start drinking much at all until I was in like my 30s. And I didn't start drinking Manhattans until my mid 30s, but I'm vaguely aware that they make Manhattans with brandy in Wisconsin. Yes, we lead the nation in brandy consumption and obesity. Yes.
So, I mean, people can vote in the comments if they really want to get into it. Like, are you a brandy Manhattan person or a bourbon Manhattan person? I mean, to us, there's only one right answer, but whatever. Yeah. We don't totally judge. Just kidding. I don't judge it. No,
I don't judge.
He doesn't judge, but we happen to like the bourbon. Let's see what you got. So I'm gonna turn the screen and Greg's gonna lead us through.
So here's our little bar. I've just got a shaker with ice and whiskey, vermouth, bitters, and cherries. So you can take your shaker of ice. I'm making 2 of these lovelies. So I'm going to make big ones today just because the ratio is easier. So I'm doing 3 shots of whiskey per drink. That's 60.
Well, they're not like full on shots, are they? Or are they full shots?
Well, they're short shots. Yeah.
Short shots. Okay. Just making sure. This is how it works to do.
This is important because, well, we don't have to drink these necessarily. We can say.
Oh, what?
So that's your whiskey. 2 times 3 is 6. And I like to do a 3-to-1 ratio with the vermouth. Are you a 3-to-1 person?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I know there's some controversy about that, but I think you and I settled on this in Ashland some years back.
Ashland, Wisconsin.
When you made me one.
When he opened for Greg Brown?
That was the day you opened for Greg Brown.
Yeah, up at the Big Top Stockwood. That's right.
Exactly. And I've followed the 3-to-1 rule ever since. It hasn't steered me wrong. I'm a little generous with the bitters.
I'm a believer in generosity.
6 generous squirts of bitters. My cherries are already in my glass. I'm just gonna shake this
Staging.
vigorously, like so. We've had a few road Manhattans.
Yes.
And if you need to do without the cherries, there's I don't think anyone anywhere is keeping score.
Yes.
So better to have a road Manhattan at the end of a long day on the bike with no cherries than no Manhattan at all.
Exactly.
And there you go. There's your Manhattan, Peter. This one's for you, sir.
Oh,
There you go. And I don't know. Did we get it right? Is this in fact your favorite cocktail?
that is my very favorite cocktail, the Manhattan.
Aww.
Well,
It's-
cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. Ah,
Mm.
Oh, that is tasty.
Right?
Right?
He's never taught me how to make that, so that was like a new experience.
I need to remain useful.
He's screwing
There's only a few things I can do.
if I lose them, I'm just.
Yep.
My grandma Ethel would drink these with extra cherry juice.
wow.
Always, she would order it, and she was a brandy Manhattan lady. To be fair,
She was.
brandy Manhattan with
Yeah.
extra cherry juice. That was her drink
To grandma.
to grandma.
Aw.
Mm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You said and I said at the same time.
I was going to start the interview.
Do it.
Should I start the interview?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drink.
Sweet. Bree will be over in the corner. Just let us know if you need her. Peter, I have a few questions for you. If in formal interview mode, if you had to name one subway station that's been instrumental in your career, which subway station would that be, and why?
The Davis Square Tea Stop, because no joke, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 hours, I spent there just playing. That was my work day. Get up at about 5:30 so that I could get into the station about 6:30, and set up my little amp and just play all day, and that's how I paid my rent for years when I was in my early 20s. And I think more than anything, that's where I learned to play music for people, and it takes all the mystery out of it. I think playing music is like being a bike mechanic or a midwife or putting drywall on a wall. Of course, the first few hundred attempts are going to be pretty rough, but you muddle through to where you finally have a sense of how to do it and make it go smoothly.
And what years were those that you were playing at the station?
So that would have been 93, 94, 95, 96. And then I went back there I would go back there from time to time just to sort of visit and remind myself how to do that, to play like a long day's worth of music. But I went back to make a live record there in 2002. And, I've done one or two live street concerts and one or two, 3 or 4 shows that were 12 hours long, which is really just a double shift. 12 hours sounds like a marathon, but it's not really a marathon when you're pretty used to playing 6 or 8 hours a day. That was a few times a week I would play 6 to 8 hours a day. So
I bet there are musicians out there listening right now going, I can't even do a 4-hour show. Like how, that just sounds.
You can repeat some material over the course of 12
Sure, I
hours.
suppose you can,
Yeah.
but that's a lot.
But this is ingenious. So this is early in your career, and you not only figured out a way to improve your chops in front of a crowd, but you figured out a way to pay to get to practice, basically.
yeah, exactly that. To get paid.
Yeah. And
Yeah, well, like,
I've been with you all over the country where people have walked up and introduced themselves as fans from those days, which is incredible. Yeah.
I still remember like a thing that happened from exactly the thing you're talking about. Like I played like some little open mic feature in the first year that I was in Boston, and you know, most open mics, you get the open micers and a few of their friends, and then I had like 75 just people who take the subway that I'd sent a little postcard to, and so the place was like jammed to the rafters. And the Unitarian guy running it, I still remember him being like, "Who the fuck are all? Why are there 200 people in this?" You know,
that's great.
That's awesome.
So, aspiring musicians, if the subways ever start running full again, this is a good way to get yourself started.
I think so. You know, everyone feels like they're trying to crack the code of how is it that we how does one go viral, how does one have a hit record, and I'm still trying to crack that code. I've never cracked that code, but how do you build an audience? That one's easy. Find a place to play for a few people at a time and then do that for hours and hours and hours years and years.
Yeah, it's a one person at a time. It's putting in time. For sure. Yeah.
I love that story. So let's move on to another question. Same question, different specificity. What other country has been most instrumental for you in terms of developing your songcraft and audience?
Ireland, Ireland, far and away. And again, same thing. Like I was 19. This was before my Boston days, and just like nothing will ever change your life if you're me more thoroughly than getting rained on with a bunch of Irish buskers and singing like Waterboys tunes, and being afraid that the skinheads will surround you, and and then going home after a day with like all that heavy Irish change sitting in your pocket. You feel like a pirate.
Visceral.
You did well. It weighs a lot.
Yeah, you can weigh it.
And you've gone back there throughout your career as well. So
yeah, in fact, it was Ireland was the last place that I played before all this locked the hell down.
Great.
We were worried you wouldn't get home. In fact,
yeah. I was worried.
I'm sure like a lot of texts being like, dude, are you going to make it home? Are you stuck in Europe, or what's happening?
Well, we texted him from the couch because we were watching CNN.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't know that. I didn't know she had texted you, and she didn't know I texted you, but we were both like, Peter, if you're not aware, good Lord, get on a plane.
I know. And then, so I got like a little firsthand thing where like I'm going through US Customs at the airport in Dublin. And they said, have you been to Italy or China or Iran? And I said, why no? And they said, right, off you go. Like, that's where we all were. I mean,
yeah,
I really do feel that this administration has fallen down. But if I'm going to be utterly fair, I fell down. Ordinary customs people fell down. I should have pulled that tour a couple weeks earlier.
But I mean,
in hindsight, sure.
Sure.
In hindsight, yeah. The difference is we are all going, yeah, in hindsight, we probably should have been more cautious. And it would be great to hear that from, I don't fucking know, the president.
Maybe.
Yeah. Some admission that he's capable of being wrong. It's a long way.
That's
that guy.
That guy.
I want to write a song.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. I want to write a song called This Fucking Guy. And everyone would know exactly who I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some good ones out there. Chuck Prophet produced one of your records 3 records back.
Yeah.
There's a new song called Get Off the Stage.
Yep.
to that fucking guy.
Is that song a hard year for rock and roll old, or
it's been a bad year for rock and roll? That's an old song that makes so much sense right now.
Like, the Rolling Stone article just came out that the titled, I haven't read it yet to be fair, but titled 2020 is the sound of 2020 is the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because solo singer-songwriters can show up on screen anytime, but bands are having a hard time. I mean, the acapella app is getting a lot of use to try to do kind of little performances that way, but it is a hard year for rock and roll.
It's been a bad year for rock and roll.
Yeah.
I want to
go to a rock show.
Stay home.
That's the line. That's the line.
Yeah. That's a good segue to my next question, which is, Peter, you're a lover of poetry and metaphor and allegory. So talk a bit. I'm just going to tee up a couple concepts and then back away. Talk a bit about the relationship between the bicycle and the guitar.
Oh, wow. Wow. You know, I mean, obviously, how many young people have felt freedom encountering both of those objects? You know, the bicycle allowing you to get out and to explore and to travel, and the guitar allowing you that same sort of travel, but in an interior sense. And then, of course, you know, I mean, what is a rock band? Honestly, what is any rock band but your basic little troop of neighborhood rugrats on their little Schwinn's? It's the same thing, like, you know, safety in numbers and fun and all of that. Yeah, didn't what's his nuts? Christy Moore's brother, Luca Bloom. Luca Bloom made a record called Acoustic Motorbike. About his bicycle, you know, like
we did.
Yeah. Hey, that's a great question.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but they're the same device to me. You know, it's just they're like laughter and tears. Like they're the same. They accomplish roughly the same thing, just by different mechanisms. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love too that they're both sort of self-contained aesthetic objects that contain nothing that isn't functional.
Right, and they are both immune to power outages. They are both immune. Yeah, the acoustic guitar. Yeah. They do what they do. They're both 19th century objects, roughly speaking.
Brian Basket said that's a really good question.
Thanks, Brian.
And Eddie Nix is appreciating our conversation in Viroqua.
Hello in Portland.
Oh man, Portland, Viroqua.
Brian, take care of the Portland folks. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Brian is an ER nurse.
I love you.
And he's doing fantastic work right now. And yeah. Oh my gosh, Andy, thanks for throwing up the tip jar right away. The Venmo at the Warming House is perfect. A few little announcements and then a couple canned questions. Ready? So a few announcements is that we're here every day at 4 with music, new musician every day. Some of them are playing just a few songs, and some of them are playing a whole set. And please, Peter, you're doing these live streams a lot and partnering with venues, which we appreciate, of course, and also just kind of flying on your own. And please let us know like when we can see you again and during your performance. And so these, you know, so we can follow you. But we're doing an 80-20 split today. 80% goes right to Peter because he's the musician, and without the musicians, the Warming House would just be a room. And that's not it. But we do hope to survive this. We're thinking of plan A, B, C, D, and E to reopen, and it's looking more like plan B and C right now, but that's okay. If you're tuned in on Facebook, like us on Facebook. If you're tuned in on YouTube, please subscribe on YouTube and just keep in touch. We're going to be doing more community events in June, which means like writers workshops. So we're sitting around sharing pieces of songs with each other. You've done that. I mean, you did that, Tuesday you wrote a new song and shared it with your trusted friends for years, right? Yeah. Workshopping songs is like such an important thing to do. I think people who write in isolation, can do it well too, but I think writing with other folks in mind and with input can be beneficial. So we'll do that more. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, somebody threw up the Venmo link. There's a PayPal link too. I'll get on the comments. Glencoe, Minnesota is here. John Lewis, who's also a founder of the Warming House, is here. Hi, John. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, John.
Yay.
Happy birthday, John Lewis.
So thanks to everyone at home for tuning in. We have just a couple more questions, and then we'll get to the good stuff, which is the songs, of course. So Peter.
Yes.
Oh, someone said Willie Porter's "Loose Gravel" is a great song about a boy and his bicycle. That's my homework. I'm gonna go listen to that.
Me too.
I've been wanting to listen to more Willie Porter. Yeah, he's come up a lot in just like passing lately. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Peter, who is one musician, alive or dead, that you would like to have breakfast with?
Oh man, at this moment it's Jolie Dunn. She is she's 8 years old, and she wrote this song called "I Wonder What's Inside Your Butthole," and it is the best rock and roll song I have heard in a long time. She wrote it for the most rock and roller reasons. She didn't want to go to bed. Like literally, rebelling against authority. She was like, they wanted her to go to bed. She's in her pajamas, and she's like, I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. Maybe there is astronauts, and maybe there is aliens all inside your butthole. And the chorus is, what's inside your butthole? I always want to know. And like, that is the most rock and roll thing in the world. Like, I always want to know.
Like, she was in it, like with her voice and everything. I always want to know.
Exactly. Someone did an Elvis Costello version of it that like is perfect, So honestly, and much less well known is that the next song she wrote, which was 2 minutes later, she wrote a song called "Why Do You Be Near to Donald Trump?" And it like if Butthole is her like Born in the USA, then Why Do You Be Near to Donald Trump is her like Darkness at the Edge of Town. She's got her like pop, mega hits, and then, so I want to meet this person. Like, she's the future.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Well, that's amazing, Peter. We've got her here. We're going to bring her out right now.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
What awesome answer. What else you got?
Like, I always like speculate what the people will eat for breakfast, and it's definitely like everything pancakes for her.
Right. Pancake chocolate chip pancakes.
Chocolate.
Jolie Dunn, I will make you and your parents chocolate chip pancakes. And I don't even make pancakes.
That's awesome.
Where's she from?
Los Angeles, of course.
Angeles. All right.
Okay.
Amazing. Oh, cheers to her.
Cheers to her. Amazing. Okay, one last question, and then and then we'll let the music happen. I promise this is perhaps the longest interview, but perhaps the person we know the best. So I want to know the very first record or piece of music, whether it was record, CD, cassette, 8-track. How old are you? I don't know. What is the first piece of music you ever bought?
Oh, the first piece of music that I ever bought, I bought the LP, Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits. And I bought it because I saw The Gambler. Do you remember The Gambler when it was on the Muppet Show? Yeah. And there was the Muppet Gambler, and he died on the train sitting across from Kenny Rogers, and then he got up and did that little ghost dance there, and I was like, Mom, Dad, bring me this.
That's a really good answer. It's
actually a pretty good record too.
Yeah, it's pretty killer.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Lucille was on that.
Yes, Lucille. Don't
Yeah.
take your love to, and then Ruby. Don't take your love to town. And
Wow.
yeah.
All right. So you have a handful of songs for us. I'd like to.
Handful of songs for you.
I like
Yep.
to thank everyone for tuning in one more time. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
We hope
Cheers.
everyone is well and just hanging in there and figuring this shit out. Meet us here every day at 4 if you need a dose of singer-songwriter love, and 4 Central, that is. Yeah, enjoy Peter Mulvey's music.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys.
Thank you, Peter.
Right now, a friend of mine is sleeping in an island in the sound. Another friend is sleeping by a wood stove up inside the hills. I'm in a city in the lowland. I got coffee in the maker, and I pick up my guitar and let the whole day do what it will. It's just about the moment that you figure out it's all going way too fast. Figure you should stop and take a look around, see if you can tell if you would truly know what you know. But I left town on a fool's errand long time ago. My father was a Studebaker Road on a rainy switcher road. My mother was lilacs, carried on a breeze. My brother was a buck with a banana seed, a baseball bat, a book of reading, and a pair of jeans, the holes in the knees. Well, one spring day, the pretty girls with the long-haired pigeons in the town square of fair green hills. Blue sky above you, get the long and full little cabin nestled down. Oh, but I left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, hey, hey. One day you'll be sitting when you're ever broken everything and thinking about the baby that you used to be in an old photograph. It's such a long goodbye to everything you thought you had to be, and when you can't cry, some fool will tell you that you gotta laugh. Yeah, but when the moment comes, you got to step it up and learn to sing it brand new. To your secret heart comes through. You got to find your way back to the place that you remember, and it's burning like a fire in the snow. But you left town on a fool's errand. I left town on a fool's errand too. We left town on a fool's errand a long time ago. Hey, hey, hey. All right, that was called Fool's Errand. This is called Trempealeau, which is a little town in northwestern Wisconsin. If you happen ever in your life to be bicycling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin up to the Twin Cities, I don't know who among you might do that. If you can, get a gig at the Trempealeau Hotel. order a walnut burger. Say maybe your friend Greg will work on your bike, and you will forget to order for him and just order for yourself, and then feel awful about it. It's a beautiful place, Trempealeau, there on the Mississippi River. Bright black road, a ribbon in the snow. West by north, from here to Trempealeau. With everything that we do and do not know. Why can't you just say I love you? And iron hearts and a fire in the head. Birds and clouds, all up in a sky of lead. Every place that you make your lonesome bed. Why can't you just say I love you? Thousand pages and everyone the same. A million trees, never knowing grief or shame. If it's true that we go as we came, why can't you just say I love you? Oh, why can't you just say I love you? Let's see, what do I feel like singing here? This is a tune by my buddy Timothy Gearlin. Hey, you're looking like a debutante, you're so fancy. Underneath your peacoat, you're a chimpanzee. They got you crying mercy in the pouring rain. Kind of look a little like a liberty ain't. There's a war on, son. You better get a gun. Better get a gun. You know there's something to be said about a good imitation. You took your Toyota to the Texaco station. You can see her body shaking in the rearview mirror. You see her mouth is moving. She don't want to hear there's a war on, son. Or you can pray to your blue, holler and wail. You take a walk in the shoes of a man. Rattled and shook, cage in his mind. All of the blood stains from his hand. You say your favorite song is Waterloo Sunset. Well, when they made that record, honey, you weren't even born yet. And somebody said that you had a really old soul, but you're much too young to watch a bullet make a hole in this war on, son. You better get a gun. Or you can pray to your blue, holler and wail. You take a walk in the shoes of a man. You rattled and shook, cage in his mind. All of the blood stains from his hand. You say your favorite song is Waterloo Sunset. When they did that record, honey, you weren't even born yet. Now everybody says you got a really old soul, but you're much too young to watch a bullet make a hole in there. Say, war on, son, you better get it gone. Better get a gun. You better get a gun. Let's see, what else have I got for you? I got a couple more for you. I'll see. Greg Nice rode with me from, man, where did we meet? Syracuse, New York, to Boston, Massachusetts this spring. And man, every single trip, there's something to remember. And they've all blurred into one. Like, I remember the very first one, it was me and Brianna Lane, and she was driving and I was biking. And then by the second one, it was Brianna. She's biked just about every single one with me. And all the times we've spent peeing in cornfields and getting scared by vehicles. Anyway, man, I'm really, really, really grateful that we've gotten a chance in our lives to play music and travel by bicycle. And Greg, you got to build your bike shop, and Bree and Greg, you got to build that venue above the bike shop, and John Lewis and Brianna. Oh God. And we're lucky. We're lucky people. I know I say that all the time. You know, I want to thank everyone who's supporting musicians and venues through this. You know, like we have, like, we work 5 different jobs in this household, my partner and I, and 4 of them have disappeared. Half of mine, I had 2 jobs, that my sort of life as a touring musician and then my life as a purveyor of intellectual property. And the touring is just gone. And honestly, that was 2/3 of my income. And then, you know, she does massage and festival work. All that's just gone. All of her jobs are gone. And yet every day we sit down and cook a meal and we say, God, we're grateful. We were driving the other day to go take a hike, you know, and we were saying we're so lucky. And I was broadcasting on the frequency of Ernest, which is my usual frequency. And just, I was trying to describe how lucky I felt despite all the financial sort of hit we've taken, and the worry and fear for our friends and our relatives and our future, all of that. And just as I said it, we passed by this backyard where this guy had a chicken coop that looked like the Taj Mahal. and a little rundown house, but like the chicken coop he built, man, and all of his splendid chickens were out on the lawn with him, and he was just there with a rusty pitching wedge, like putting his golf ball around his yard with his chickens, just golfing with chickens in his yard. That guy knows what's going on. My Uncle Walter had an extra toe. My Uncle Walter had an extra toe. What else about me do you need to know? My Uncle Walter had 11 toes. Escanaba Thursday in the sleet and snow. Escanaba Thursday in the sleet and snow. Every downtown strip is a total shit show. Escanaba Thursday in the sleet and snow. My second grade teacher was a schizophrenic nun. My second grade teacher was a schizophrenic nun. Got to talk to Jesus if you want something done. My second grade teacher was a schizophrenic nun. Now me, I'm just trying to keep the flame alive. Me, I'm just trying to keep the flame alive. Give me some sugar, I'll give you a high five. Me, I'm just trying to. All right, thanks to the Warming House. Thank you all for tuning in. I can't see your comments, but I bet that they're nice mostly, and maybe we've been Zoom bombed with some Russian porn, but here's my last song. This is, I want to send this out to my bicycling friends, Brianna and Greg. This is by Gary Lewis, and it's by the Jayhawks. What became of your decision to accept the card so willing? Hallelujah. All of the apples spilled out on the highway, a little scared, you mighty upstart, hallelujah. Take a trip to someone else's dark side, nothing, come on, false love, hallelujah. It's hard to ride at night on your bicycle with no life guide. Just take a chance and ride on your bicycle with no life guide. Get to where you want to stay, above 10th in another state. Hallelujah. Walking the blossoms up your shoulders. You and I never really did see outside. Hallelujah. And now is what to think and who to know and who really minds some obscene phone calls. Hallelujah. It's It's hard to ride at night on your bicycle with no lights to guide. Just take a chance and ride on your bicycle with no lights to guide. It's hard to ride at night on your bicycle with no lights to guide. Just take a chance and ride on your bicycle with no lights to guide. All right, thanks so much. Thanks to the Warming House. Thanks to Brianna and Greg. And thank you everyone for tuning in. And I am probably just about out of battery. So everybody take care, and they will stop the live stream, I'm sure, of their own recognizance. Talk to you soon. Take care. Be safe, everybody, for the love of God. Look out for your neighbor.